All right, I thought I would do a mental health video check-in, but every time I go to do it, I like, I know, I hate talking to a camera, it's not organic. I feel like every time I talk about it without doing that, it just, everything comes out fine and exactly how I want to say it, and it's presented better, means more. And but once I turn the recorder on, I sound like a fucking idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. I fall out of the context. I just don't like it, but I try my hardest. And I wanted to catch up with everybody and let everybody know how I'm doing. And I just got back from therapy. I rode to St. John's, so I probably did about 15 miles a day on my bike, and it's been beautiful. And unfortunately, I watched them pull out another body from the Willamette. But it's so weird how we're becoming so desensitized to stuff like that. And I mean, it's still a human. It still sucks, no matter what happened. Sucks more if it's like a murder or OD. It just sucks. It all sucks. The world's gross. People are toxic. The land is the most beautiful thing, and there is good people, few and far between. But yeah, there's just a lot of negativity and just toxic people, and so I try to maneuver my way between all that. I think I do a pretty damn good job, but I had this thing I wanted to say, like I have these moments. Well, like, I've been pretty sad my entire life, and I've had a lot of happy moments, and that just seems like what I get, is happy moments, and I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is when I'm in those happy moments, and my friend Levi and I talked about this yesterday, is when we're in these happy moments, they're so rare. So when they happen, we try to enjoy them, and we enjoy them for a couple days, and then I think we're just so used to being miserable and dark, like I don't think we I don't feel like that we deserve it, so we sabotage it. And sorry, there's a car. We're having a wedding out front, but yeah, I don't feel like I deserve it, and so I kind of sabotage it with like this dark, depressing, maybe I just feel like I love it, and I miss it in a weird way when I am happy, which is totally not fair and not right. But I do have a lot of happy moments, and I have a lot of good people around me and everything, but I just, like, when I'm going through these episodes, I just, no matter how many times somebody could tell me that, they love me and that they're here for me, it's just like, I don't hear that. I don't feel that, even though it's there and it is real. And I start to isolate myself, and it never really goes away, but I try to keep myself busy with, like, riding really hard every day, and then making sure to laugh with my friends, and try to have sleepovers, and just act as a child as usual, and just keep my spirits high, and so those dark days don't take over too much. But I have seen a pattern, and like, I realized this pattern about like 8 years ago, and I have to prepare for my dark days, and I know they're gonna come. I don't know when they're gonna show up or knock on the door. It could happen tomorrow. Growing up with such severe anxiety and depression, I remember, like, having these happy moments, and then all of a sudden, I mean, school is fucking prison. There's no justifying, like, it's prison for kids, and I was in hell between my home life and school. It was hell, and I would have panic attacks. Some days it would last 3 days, some days 2 weeks, some days 6 months to a year, and it became so, it was every day. So it became normal, and that's how I would try to explain to people, at therapists and doctors at the time, like, how do you feel? And I would tell them how I feel. And I told them, this is what I think normal life is. And they're like, no, that's not, you shouldn't have to feel like that every day. But I had felt like that for 30, 35, 6 years. So when I do have happy moments as an adult and an older person, I just feel like I don't deserve it, and why should I be happy? But I live a really good life, and I have really good people around me, and I've seen a lot of death, and I've had a lot of struggles, and but we all have, it just all depends on how you cope with it. I don't do drugs, and I've never drank before, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that for me, that's a lifesaver, because if I would have happened to drink and I enjoyed it as a younger person, I would be fucking dead, so I do think my anxiety for making me too scared to try things, or just do things that I know that are not going to be good for you. Seeing my dad was an alcoholic, and I saw how he treated my mom and me, so I just feel like talking about, like, those moments where you feel, right after you feel happy, you almost like feel like you don't deserve it, so you'll like go back to that dark place in your life, or in that dark place that of that feels comfortable in a way that makes you feel cozy but also miserable, and you just want to get away from it. It's like a double-edged sword. It's so weird. It's so hard to explain, and I don't know. I just, I don't follow politics. I don't listen to the news. I don't pay attention when people start talking. It's like talks about that kind of stuff. I just walk away, or I just ignore it. I don't want to, inhale any kind of like toxic stuff like that. I don't hang out with people that have drama, and I don't like people yelling. I don't like confrontation. It just scares me, so I kind of, stay away from, I know when I need to go, and I know when I need to stay. I know, my gut instinct tells me a lot, and I listen to it, and it's gotten me this far. And I just don't like hate or anger, or like, I'm salty, like I'm negative, but we all are. But I'm not, people say, oh, you're, it's like, I've lived, and I still try to see the light and the beauty, and all the amazing things life has to offer, and I do a good job at it. But yeah, do I get salty and a little negative? Of course. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm a good person, and I have a really big heart, and I still continue to deliver that, and help, and change people's days, and cheer people up, and do things out of the kindness of my heart. And that's never going to go anywhere. It's just who I am as a person. But am I a cynical asshole? Probably. But I'm all right with that, because it doesn't mean I'm a bad person, And but at the moment, I'm feeling well. I got a doctor appointment next week with a new doctor. I just had my therapy, and it went well, and I got to tell her, I hadn't seen her in a month or so I got to tell her a lot that's happened, and how I filtered it, and how I'm gonna deal with those things when they do happen, and kind of just like with my parents, and seeing my cousin the other day, and just like all this stuff like aligning, and what does it mean, and how am I gonna like process it and go about it. So I just been riding, laughing with my friends, because I know those two they will never let me down, and they never have. So I know I have something, and I'm very lucky and grateful and fortunate to have such a beautiful thing that keeps me young and happy and energetic and driven. I just love riding my bike so much. And so when I see my family and they're like, "Oh, you're still riding," I'm like, well, yeah, like what the fuck else would I, like, you don't find something that saved your life thousands of times and you just ditch it because you wanted to grow up or whatever, or have kids, or you always make time for something that's always been there for you. So no matter what your life turns out to be, that's my opinion. Like, kids, marriage or not, like, you have to have you time, and you have to take care of you. And if that involves going riding your bike a couple times a week, and your girlfriend and wife understands, or that's true love right there. And I have that. Anna understands. She's like, go ride, and she would never tell me, oh, we had plans, you can't. It's like, no. But she knows I wouldn't tolerate that with anybody. So when it comes to having an outlet, I have seasonal outlets. BMX is my main passion, but seasonal outlets are important too, because we live in Portland and it rains every day in the winter. So it's like, you got to have something. You can't ride. So metal detecting, fishing, gay hiking, just cold dipping, hot springs. This is a very beautiful state, and there's a lot to offer. So this year I want to like more focus on like cold plunges and take dips in the ocean. I'm always there, and just like take care of my mentals better. When I am in those when I start to feel like I could feel the shift, and I'm starting to recognize, like, okay, the shift is coming, and I don't have to hibernate and hide and run away from everybody and ignore people. Things I've done a lot in my past, and I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure, like, I'm with these people, and I want to hang out with these people, and they know that I'm going through this, and they don't have to say anything. They just have to be there, and they will be there. They're always there. But it helps a lot. It's like, we can have a long, beautiful conversation just sitting in silence, and that's a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to check in and ramble damble. I'm tired from riding really far, and but it was a beautiful day, and I hope everybody's doing well. And I'm gonna save some clips where we went filming yesterday. So I'm gonna work on just saving GoPro clips in the GoPro. That way I'm like kind of just like not putting them on YouTube, and we'll work on an edit, and it'll be kind of like a crispy fall edit, which I'm looking forward to. And it's the best time of year, my favorite time of year, my birthday, Christmas, Halloween. It's my favorite. So I'm gonna go for an evening stroll and watch the sunset, but I hope all is well, and hopefully before I hit this off record button, I won't close my eyes and take a nap. All right, hope all well.